Hey everyone, it's Pastor Dave from St. John in Woodbury, Minnesota. Thanks for checking out today's 5 Minutes of Hope for Friday, May 22nd. So, the last one for the week as we head into the weekend, and it is Memorial Day weekend. So, we got the long weekend, but again, as we do seem to say every single time, that might not mean a whole lot this year with everything going on, with time being so, or at least seeming so different. Again, with the pandemic and all of the different stuff happening. So, hopefully, it's been a good week for you. I pray that it's been an enjoyable week for you in some way. And again, hopefully, you have a chance to do something enjoyable this weekend. Again, like I've said in this past week, odds are it will not be the same type of Memorial Day weekend as you are used to, but I do pray that there's something enjoyable in store for you this weekend. I know for me, I'll be working on my house because a week from yesterday we'll be putting it up for sale, and so kind of the last minute rush here. So it'll be a good opportunity to get everything done. So as always, my prayer for you on this day, on this Friday, is that you are indeed filled with peace, with joy, with hope, because you know what Jesus has done for you. And so today, as always, as we wrap up the week, a couple of things. Got our joke of the day and then some devotional thoughts on remembering, since we are heading into Memorial Day weekend. So our joke for today, it's about a group of nuns and a police officer. So there was a police officer who clocked this car going down the highway at 20 miles an hour. And again, the speed limit for this was 65. And so pulled the car over for really going dangerously slow. And so when he pulled the car over, he walked up. He noticed that the car was filled with nuns. And he asked the nun who was driving, he said, "Sister, why were you driving so slow?" And she said, "Well, I'm just going the speed limit." And he said, "No, you were going 20 miles an hour." And she said, "Yeah, that's what all the signs say. It's a 20 mile an hour speed limit." And the officer said, "No, sister, this is Highway 20. The speed limit's actually 65. And she kind of chuckled and says, "Oh, well, I guess that makes sense." And then the officer noticed in the back there was a couple other nuns who looked like they'd just seen a ghost. And he said, "Sister, if you don't mind me asking, what's wrong with your fellow nuns in the back of the car?" And she says, "I don't know, but we just got off of Highway 155. There you go. Your nun joke of the day to wrap up this work week there. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And again, if you ever have any suggestions on jokes I should use, send me a message. And I'm sure they will be better than what I have in store. So like I said, hopefully that was enjoyable for you. Again, as we close out the week. So a couple of devotional thoughts for today. And it is Memorial Day weekend. Like I said, it's probably going to look different than usual, but it's an opportunity to do a bunch of things. But really, at the heart of this weekend is remembrance. And we spend this weekend remembering those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, who gave up their lives to protect our country, to give us the freedoms that we have. And I know a lot of places are not doing their normal Memorial Day celebrations. In fact, here in Woodbury, at noon on Monday, one of our veterans is going to ring the bells at church at noon, since the normal celebrations are not going to happen. But it's a good time for us to focus on the value of remembrance. And my encouragement to all of us is to just remember what God has done for us. Maybe spend some time this weekend remembering the ways that He's cared for you through some of the darkest of times. But I also would encourage us, especially, and not just this weekend, but especially looking at this time as a whole and as we move forward, to just remember all the ways that God has taken care of us. As you look at your life, just think, how's God taken care of me physically? How about emotionally? How about financially? Relationally? How have you seen God do unique things in your life during these times to show His care, His love, His provision for you? Because we as human beings, we all have the tendency to forget things pretty quickly, and so my encouragement to us is that we wouldn't forget. That again, whenever we've moved beyond this pandemic, whenever that might happen, that we would be able to look back and say, you know what, I'm going to remember, and I'm not going to forget all the ways that God showed his love for me, that the ways that God took care of me, the way God provided for me in the midst of a very challenging time. And so, again, maybe take a few minutes this Memorial Day weekend, not only to think about those who gave up their lives for our country, but also think about and remember the ways that God has provided for you in this life. And above all, think about the way that he's provided the best gift for you, that he gave up his own life, that Jesus gave up everything on the cross so that you and I can live with him forever. So have a wonderful and blessed Memorial Day weekend. Spend some time remembering God and his love. And I'll see you again next Tuesday. So for our next 5 minutes of hope. So again, God bless and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.